going on, you guys? Like, welcome you guys to the channel. It's your boy Big Dog back with another one take review. Today I got one for Promising Young Woman, starring Carey Mulligan as this woman Cassandra, who's pretty much on a mission to fight back against dudes who take advantage of women when they're intoxicated. And she pretty much goes to the club every week, pretends to be blackout drunk, and sees how many guys that are going to take advantage of her. She keeps tabs of them in a little notebook because something happened to a friend of hers where she was raped when she was younger, and she told people and they didn't believe her. And that later on affected her friend's life and thus affected hers as well. Overall, as a film, I think it's a strong film. I like the acting. I don't love anything. I don't love anything about this film, honestly. But I think it's well made, and I think it points out a few different things. One of the things, probably the biggest issue, I think it's one-sided and heavy-handed. Kind of like punch the message home, like nails you in the head with it repeatedly. Hey, dudes ain't shit, and pretty much they all the same. Because you pretty much get that once you finish watching the film. It's like, no, there was a time where it's like, okay, maybe there's different, like, but once you watch it, you're like, no, pretty much sums up everybody as all guys is like one thing, and so many of the guys that like do messed up stuff in here, where pretty much every is like they just do it, and like there are actually no real consequences for those dudes. But I guess that's maybe like a message that the film sends, like, oh, guys don't actually have to suffer the consequences of stuff they do when they take advantage of women. But I don't feel like she was actually. I don't know. I kind of felt like not a Robin Hood type thing, but like a person who's trying to like combat this, yet she goes to like a certain point and then stops. You know what I'm saying? But if you go too far, it was like a very, very weird concept. I think people are going to look at this different. I'll be honest, I had no intention of even watching this film. You know what I'm saying? From the trailer, I didn't really like the trailer. But once it was nominated for Best Picture, and I always like watch all the Best Picture nominees before I make my like votes and predictions and stuff. So I knew I had to check this one out. The film does take some risk at certain times, and when I say I mean like big risk. There was one that I'm just like, I can't believe they just did that, but quickly doesn't like erase it, but kind of like it kind of loses its effect. It's one of those things where you ask so many different morality questions, where it's like, hey, if somebody did this 10 years ago, are they still that person, even if that person's trying to change? But then it also asks you certain questions like, would certain things matter to you more if they're happening to you? You know what I'm saying? Because I personally was like, I wasn't like a big fan of it. And then I'm also looking at it from two different perspectives. I'm looking at it from just like a general person's perspective, and I'm looking at just how I know my mind works. I'm like, man, come on, bro. Like, people like have done horrible things. All of us have done horrible things, and if we were all judged off those things we done, like none of us would like have a job or be able to do anything. That's my opinion. You know, I often feel like the people have done a lot of terrible things, and some of the things just haven't come to light. But then again, I was also looking at it like in terms of like, no, you did this to my friend 10, 20, 30, 40 years go down the road, I don't care. Like, it's up for life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from two different perspectives. I'm kind of like in conflict with myself, because on one end, I'm like, this is like somebody tried to change, but at the same time, that same thing that affected somebody's life in a negative way, and you get a pass for it, and you go on to be successful. So it's kind of like you looking at it. And the tactics Carey Mulligan's character Cassandra uses are kind of like sleazy, you know. But at the same time, kind of the whole movie is sleazy in a way. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a feel good movie, because I don't think it's that by any means. you're very uncomfortable watching it, you know. And I think for a woman it's uncomfortable watching, and for a dude it's uncomfortable watching because there's always going to be, especially now, this separation between guys and girls, to where we all, hey, we have to go through this and we have to go through this, and both sides are just talking, and it's straight cluster in the middle, and nobody's actually hearing the other person out. Because once one person says something that they're dealing with, the other people say something that they're dealing with instead of addressing, you know what I'm saying, what they've heard someone else is going through. And that's pretty much where we're at now. And this film is pretty much the epitome of that, because it's just back and forth, but at the same time, this film is once again about it's called Promising Young Woman, so you know who's things is going to be more on, and it kind of paints every single guy in the same light. Like, it's all just like I said, one of probably my biggest issues is like it's real heavy handed and one sided, but overall, I don't feel like this is not like this is a knock against it, because I'm just being honest. I don't feel like it was deserved to be Best Picture nominee. There are multiple films I've seen that I thought were better. I just like My Rainey's and The Five Bloods, or even I Care a Lot with Rosamund Pike, like or The Invisible Man. Like, there are so many other films I thought like were much more well executed and told the story in a better sense. I personally, the film, it's okay. I probably would give it a C. But yeah, I mean, it's Best Picture nominee. So I mean, I've seen a few of the best. I mean, I've seen, but this is the fifth. I almost still have three more I have to watch, and I personally don't even feel like strong category, not category, but yeah. Well, I guess you say strong category this year. You know, maybe that's with COVID, but I don't know. It's a few other things. I was just like, you know, certain films aren't hitting for me like they are for others right now. So there it is. But there's my review for Promising Young Woman. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Also, if you don't agree with what I say, that is fine. Once again, but I'm not going to get in a shouting match with anybody over any particular views that somebody may have. So have a nice day. Peace out.